WIIFTBP.
Everybody's talking about the all-new Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish. Place your order today for a delicious meal. The chicken and fish are fried to perfection, featuring a wide variety of catfish, perch, tilapia, whiting, and shrimp. Now it's your turn to see what everybody's talking about. It's the all-new Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish, Chicago's newest spot for delicious meals. Stop by at 2537 South Wabash in the South Loop, or get contactless delivery from DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. For more info, call 773-807-9010, 773-807-9010. Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish is open just in time for lunch, or take it to the house for a delicious dinner. It's Chicago's new spot for perfectly fried chicken and fish. Don't wait any longer. Try it today. Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish, 2537 South Wabash in the South Loop. Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
You got to Kennedy King, so you remember Corey Brown?
I definitely remember Corey Brown from Morgan Park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. Murder, man. So I got it in with y'all one day before a game, and then y'all literally went out and destroyed some people by about 50 at Kennedy King, and I'll never forget, somebody shot a jumper. It came off long, and Corey will tell this story to this day. He says he went up, and I was in the stands. He went up for the rebound, and before he could jump, he said he felt a foot on his head. And it was you, and you caught it. Classic P-Mac, catching it over everybody, putting it back in. He says before he jumped, he felt a foot on his head. And Corey was 6'4", easy.
On his head.
On his head.
Yeah, Corey was 6'4", man. I used to just, I don't know, I had a knack, man. I was always uber athletic. Like I was taught early, if somebody shoot, you got to come from the opposite side. I had a guy in my neighborhood named Wayne Irvin, legendary dude to us in our neighborhood. Played at Chicago State, played at Wyoming.
Okay.
Played against Patrick Ewing. He passed away a couple years ago, but went to CVS. He was a decorated player. A lot of people knew him. And he taught me early, like, you attack offensive rebounds from the opposite side. So if somebody shoot from the left wing, you crash from the right. If somebody shoot from the top of the key, you can crash because it can go either way and you can get it. I was so big and athletic. I used to get a lot of tip dunks. Like, for some reason, people never boxed me out. And once I got a running start, if it came off anywhere over the rim and bounced up, you was dead.
This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
Maze Jackson.
If you could make up a social media holiday, what would it be?
Randy said National Don't Let No One Put You Down Day.
No one. What you gonna do? So when they say something crazy, you slap them?
Be like Maze said. Remy said a Jukathon Day.
Man, we're about 60 years old. I'd be done had a heart attack.
You gotta get your heart rate up.
Okay, not that far.
All right, Mario said my favorite one. My friends and I do what we call National Call Off from Work Day.
As a business owner, I don't.
You don't like that, yeah?
I don't like that one.
Because I'm the boss of this family.
We got Marcus Garvey Day from Remy too.
Oh, Marcus Garvey Day. All right, what will we do on Marcus Garvey Day?
Call off from work.
I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in tomorrow. That would be great. Okay?
Yeah, right. Every black holiday has something to do with calling off from work.
You're cool. I'm out.
About National Join a Positive Black Organization Day, because I don't want to be recruited. I don't want to be recruited and the brothers be like, thank you. Thank you. How about National Tell White People the Truth Day? Tell them how you really feel.
You can't handle the truth.
Why don't we call that National Black People Get Locked Up Day?
I'm going to tell them there's an African-American man threatening my life.
Hello.
The most dangerous show in the morning. You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts, man. Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case. He was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gonna sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let us give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up to seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Nor do I have Ruthie Moore. But you know what? I got my girl, Sonia. Sonia? Ruthie Moore came in here, dipped in here late yesterday and was like, I'm in here for about an hour. I'm going to be on about you. I see y'all on Friday. And you know I'm nervous now because who comes back to work on a Friday?
But I love how she threw it in on air. Like,
Yeah.
We were all cracking up, I believe. Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm not going to be here.
Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm not going to be here. Sorry. I got to do my real work. Then, Todd Stroger. Todd Stroger hits me up this morning, but, I can't even front. He said Janine was not feeling well and he was staying home to take care of her while she was under the weather. I wonder, as he should, and let's commend Todd for that. We give Todd the business an awful lot.
We?
Yeah. You talk about Ruthie be giving Todd the business. I be like, Todd, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm going to be flying the plane with me and Sonia today. Now, I there used to be a time when I wanted to just have the mic all to myself, and I didn't really want to co-host. I remember back in the old days when they were proposing that I have a co-host and I got an attitude, and so everybody would come in and I would be like, I hate you.
Yeah, but when you find the right co-host,
then things tend to work out, and now it's like I miss Ruthie and I miss Todd. Like when something I was thinking when we made this move, and I was thinking like to make the move, and we weren't sure Todd was gonna come.
Ruthie was a super extra. I was like, that was a great. I never forget Vince. I was like, we need somebody young, somebody with a little fun. And we was both at the same time, like Ruthie. And so I was super excited to get Ruthie on board. And I was thinking about those first shows when you were on this side of the window and I was on that side of the window and you were standing on crates. Right. And it would be like people be coming in and we'd be like, hey, be quiet. We got a show going on in the Cracker Box.
I was like, I don't want to fall.
Ah, Lord. Right. Because I was trying to make like I was trying to make it like a stage. But I was just thinking about how far we have come. And so I miss both Ruthie and both Todd. And I'm glad that you're here. Because it keeps some stability to it. Because, we've been having a hard time rounding up the whole family all at one time. It's like we ain't had like a straight week of straight flights yet.
I think we had 2 days.
We had 2 days. Well, 1.5, 2.
2.5.
2.5. 2 and a third. Right? And so, it's okay though. Because the good thing is, we all still here. So let's do this. How you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good.
You feeling good? All right.
Yeah.
What? Bert, you cold? You
Not now, no.
Oh, outside. You know what? It is a little chilly outside. I'm going to try and keep y'all up with the weather. I know people be like, I can't get you the traffic, but I think I can do a better job of getting you the weather. So we're going to make sure you get some of that a little bit. We
have to do better.
Yeah, we got to do a little.
Not just the number. Like, no, wear a light jacket.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I'm bad with that because I don't really wear a jacket. But right now it's 37 degrees. It's a little bit overcast in Chicago. I think the low today is 37. And what is the high going to be? 51. So we're underneath this is not what it normally is, right? Yep. Normally, what is it normally around this time? Like 58.
58.
About 58, 60, something like that. Somewhere in that area. So it's a little chilly. You can still wear your hoodies. That's a good thing though. Because did I mention to you all that not only do I have one wonderful What's in it for the Black People hoodie, there's also camouflage pink. And there's also gold.
Waiting on the pink.
I just feel like we could do pink with the letters.
Not like hot pink, but
Yeah, we could actually we're gonna do a t-shirt line. We're working on the color combinations. We're checking out what are going to be the popular shoe colors so that this summer when you want to go grab something to wear, you can just stop by and grab a WIIFTBP shirt and you can represent and still be fresh, flashy, and fly. All right? So stay tuned. All right, well, let's do this, though. Sonia, you feeling good? I'm feeling good. Let's get the soul plane up to 60,000 feet. We are up, and away. It is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson, rolling with my girl, Sonia Escobar. Today, we are flying together. As we take off, we're going to bank a little bit east and fly over South Shore, Jackson Park, where they broke ground on the groundbreaking of the utility pipes and poles because they still haven't really gotten a guarantee. There's still fights. There's still lawsuits. It's always amazing to me to watch the white folks as they put their foot down in our neighborhood. Now, I am going to say that I'm not sure how black folks feel about the Obama Center. We're going to be losing Cornell Drive, which I'm going to just tell you, Cornell Drive is one of my favorite shortcuts. When you get off, it's it cuts you through. I think it's going to deal the death of the chosen few, at least in that park. I think, but they did yesterday as I was watching the press conference, they were talking about a lot of people going to get some food in restaurants and it's going to be a lot of opportunity around there. I just hope that it's black folks. Because the problem is, it's like, I think of, like right now I think about like Michigan Avenue, South Michigan Avenue, like 22nd, 23rd, going back north up till about Roosevelt. And I think about when those used to be areas where we as black folks used to hang out on Michigan Avenue. And even the Chicago Defender was there. But we didn't have the capital to turn it into what it is now. Now, like, I don't think anybody saw, we used to see the projects there. And I don't think if you don't have capital and you're not used to getting access to money, you can't even envision. And so even when you talk about what's going to happen in the Obama area, yeah, there's going to be some small joints, right? But I think the people that have the ability to do the big stuff is going to be like the University of Chicago, right? And then they'll kind of farm out stuff, but they'll ultimately be the landowner. And then they'll lease a space until there's not enough of us there. And then we come back and we'll be like the engines, right? Where you come back to, this is where Obama Center was, where the black people used to be. And see, in the stores, you can go and see engines. Like, we'll be like like when you go to the reservation, it'll be like the Obama, here once were black people. I'm telling you, the South Side is going to start 10 blocks south. Let me say 5 blocks south of Obama Center. So when you think of the South Side, like Black South Side, because in 10 years, in 10 years, you're not gonna think of the South Side the same way. We'll be like, remember when it used to be? Okay, I'm just telling you. Shout out to the Obama Center though. I am excited for. I want a barbecue at the Obama Center. What was interesting though? The Obamas were not there. So that made me say it was like literally unofficial. It's like it got me thinking something is going on.
Wasn't the governor?
The governor and the mayor, but that's like because I think they both are lagging. And so I think that, they still think that Obama has the magic. And I don't think he got the magic no more. Not around here with the black people. But we'll see.
I mean, we'll see.
We shall see. All right. How about this one? Mayor Lori Lightfoot has teamed up with Kimberly Lightford, State Senator Kimberly Lightford, who Politico is calling the most powerful woman in Springfield, to pass her elected school board bill. Now, remember, the mayor is getting run roughshod over by CTU down in Springfield, and she's not very popular. So what she did was she hitched her star, because she's about to lose. She was in a position to lose control of the school board. And so she hitched her star to State Senator Kimberly Lightford, who is perceived by many to be the most powerful woman in Springfield, especially as it relates to education. Now, shout out to Paris Schutz, because I was going to say this, but I don't want to act like he didn't notice it either. The interesting thing about Mayor Lightfoot teaming up with State Senator Kimberly Lightfoot teaming up with Lightford is they have an interesting intermingling at Loretto Hospital, right? So Loretto Hospital, which is where we saw them trading vaccines for Trump at the Trump Tower. We saw them doing at the jewelry store, trading Black Life for meals. And the city used it as its backdrop for equity. I really don't want to go too far down the path, but I do think it reeks of something that I'm not going to call right now, but it reeks in that losing control of the school board, let me just say there's a win-win scenario for both of them. Lightford wins if the city eases up off of its audit of what they're doing at Loretto, and the mayor doesn't lose control of the school board. And so I do, and the thing is, it's easy for Lightford to be on the side of the school board because she doesn't have CTU in her district. And really ain't nobody trying to mess with Senator Lightford. Like, not really, because she will curse your butt out. She will let you have it. But right now she has COVID. Let's pray for her because she does have COVID. So we haven't heard and we haven't seen the bill. But I do imagine that the bill she has will do something that is some sort of compromise but allows the mayor to maintain control. So some mix of an elected group and a hybrid and a appointed group, but ensuring that the mayor has a majority in the appointed group while allowing us to feel like we have some say in the voting of the minority, right? Like, so it's built to be improprietary, but to make you feel like you got a piece. Does that make sense? So
the
when
mayor gets the last say.
Right. So the mayor gets to pick. So let's say if the school board was 13 people, like Senator Lightford's bill probably is going to be something like 6 of the people are elected and 7 are appointed by the mayor. Right? So the mayor still stays in control, but you feel like you had a say. Got it? Got it. All right. Speaking of schools, CTU, CPS added again. The teachers did not go into school.
Again.
I'm about tired of all of this. Now, here's the problem with me being tired. I kind of think CTU is a little bit right. Now, I'm not going to say they're 100% right. I need to talk to Dr. Janice Jackson before I make any decisions here. But I do feel as though the COVID numbers are rising. So what I feel like the country needs to say is we are now moving to a place where we're going to live with COVID. And we're going to take the risk. And now we are moving out of, they need to say what they didn't say last year, which is we're not going to hide from it. We're going to fight the virus and we're going to take our chances with it. That's what I think they need to just go ahead and say. Instead of playing in this waffle, stop putting up the Dr. Fauci reports and saying, like, you just told me to take the shot, and now I take the shot, and now you stopping it because it's killing people. And look, just say, look, y'all, we going outside. Get it, don't get it. If you don't get it, you're going to die, or take your chances.
But the numbers are going up with younger.
Right. But they're fighting to put people back in school in spite of that fact. And so my point is they are not.
So it's worse.
Right.
If the kids are now.
But I agree. But they are now saying they don't care.
Oh. Okay.
Right. And so I'm saying, like, let's stop that part. Like, remember how Ruthie called it kind of science? Now, when it was politically convenient for us to be locked down and to use the fact that people were dying in the rates as a deterrent or to use it for a political issue, then we all had to be locked down and we were supposed to be scared. Now nobody's talking about locking down, even as as our numbers are increasing, right? We're filling up hospital beds. Nobody's really stopping it. Like, nobody's saying we're going to shut down. They're saying we got to slow down. They're saying put your mask on, but they ain't saying shut this boy down because they're not shutting it down again. So I think we as Americans need to recognize that the country is now going to move towards opening, and we have to take our chances with that 5%, which means that 5 in 100 people have a chance of contracting COVID daily right now. 1 in 5. So every 100 people, 5 people of those people are going to have COVID. So think about your contacts in a day.
1.
Right. 2. I'm vaccinated.
Me too.
So we cancel out.
Okay.
So we in the other side. You did? We on the other side. All right. Now, but I'm a little nervous now though. Cause they be, you know. It's all right, man. How about this one? Adam Toledo video is to be released today. It'll be interesting to see how the city responds. It will be interesting to see how the city responds. I think it's already peculiar how the city is responding to the Toledo family. In that they appear to be, and I think it could have to do with the fact that he was 13 years old. I do feel, though, he was a 13-year-old who was packing a pistol. So it's going to be interesting to see, one, how the city responds. The mayor seems to respond with the ultimate amount of compassion for the family. More compassion than I've ever seen her show, quite frankly. Definitely more compassion than she showed to that woman.
Oh, that woman. Right?
That woman. Keep that up today because we're going to need that woman. But I was just thinking, will there be marches? in the event that this tape comes out and verifies the narrative that they are putting out, and I think the city is in a rush to drop the tape because they probably believe it shows they're not at fault.
That's what I think.
I think the family has seen it. They haven't come out screaming outrage. They've actually called for peace. So I'm going to be interested to see what happens. Will there be uprisings? Will people be in the streets? Who will be in the streets? I got to tell you.
I can't watch.
I got to tell you, though. I'm going. If a frog had a back pocket, I know he carried a pistol. But I just hope that when we watch this, where will the black people be in this? Right? I don't like, because I feel like the black folks be ready to go and the Latinos gonna be kind of like, yo, we can't defend. If it was what it was, we not gonna be, I mean, you know? So it's gonna be interesting, and I'm gonna be watching all of the responses.
What about
today.
the Asian community? I'm interested to see what they'll do.
Well, they're stopping Asian hate right now. After they participated in the George Floyd chokeout. I'm gonna be quiet though. That's the elephant in the room. Don't nobody want to talk about. And we ain't gonna talk about the fact that one of them was George Floyd dated one of their sisters.
Oh.
But you ain't heard that from me. So the Adam Toledo video is released today. Also, General Iron. General Iron, the people that sold their land for millions of dollars so that they can make way for Lincoln Yards, and then put it in the south in the 10th Ward, to really launch a environmental justice a racially based environmental attack on that 10th Ward community. Federal judge says that y'all failed to prove racism, and so they are allowing General Iron in their new name to move. They will not block the permit.
Wow.
Also in the news, Derek Chauvin, defense witness. Derek Chauvin, defense had their witness, said George Floyd died of a heart attack. Also, what's her name? It's always hard for me to remember her name. Kim Potter. Kim Potter resigned yesterday and then got arrested. In case you don't know who she is a police officer who killed young Dante Wright in Brooklyn. Was it Brooklyn Heights?
Center.
Brooklyn Center. We're gonna talk about that too, because I don't know. The police, by the time she got out of jail, police had surrounded her house. Now, mind you, she got arrested and was charged with second-degree manslaughter. By the time she got home from jail, the police had surrounded her house. She had concrete barricades and there was fencing. And the police were parked. Now, she's resigned. She's charged with 2 counts of manslaughter, and the white folks went into protection mode. We're also going to talk about the video from South Carolina, the time with the young black man who was being harassed by the U.S. Army sergeant. We're going to play that video. That was, I'm going to call it that time white people made me mad as hell. And then I'm going to also play you the black response, because no sooner had I seen the video and was getting angry and talking about what needed to happen did I get tagged in a video by my guy Phil, and the people pulled up on him. We need more of that.
No, say what you said.
Come outside and say it too. But we're going to talk about how that needs to get handled at every level. This is the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at The Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at The Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
WIIFTBP.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host. Don't have my co-host, Todd Stroger. Don't have my co-host, Ruthie Moore. But my girl, Sonia Escobar, is up here at 60,000 feet. We rolling this bad boy, doing our thing. I don't know if you are watching us live. You can watch us live on Facebook Live on the Maze Jackson page. Then you can also catch us on YouTube on the Maze Jackson page. Listen to us live on WBGX 1570 AM, as well as you can catch us on the TuneIn app. Now, here's what I want to do. Y'all know I'm rolling. I'm in the studio by myself. Sonia's in the control room, so I'm gonna open up the phone lines and I'm gonna ask y'all to co-host with me today. Right? I'm gonna do a phone co-host show. So I'm going to need you all to write the phone number down because I'm going to ask y'all to be calling in throughout all the segments. But I need you to make sure you got some good comments, some meaningful comments, and answer the questions. And y'all, I want to see how who can fill in as a co-host. Because I'm going to be auditioning co-host. So when these people be calling off, I can say, hey, you remember that person that called us? This is your audition. When you call in, it is your opportunity to audition. Now, Frank, you don't get no audition. You get to call in because you're the president of the phone lines. But I'm going to ask you all to give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Now, I know a bunch of y'all in the bed. And a bunch of y'all watching on your phones. But I want you to try and figure it out. I want y'all to multitask because I want to talk to some of the people on social media too. And my radio family. Can I say what's up to my man, John? John Austin, who is always on social media representing for the phone fam. He like, I know you're trying to cut the radio, but, we out here. Y'all, let me ask y'all a question. Can we raise, y'all think we could raise $2 million and buy our own radio station? Like, I want to do it without, I'm serious as a heart attack. Like, I feel like we could could we raise $2 million? Cause see, when I tell y'all it's $30 ads, y'all be like, give me one. I'll be like, no, I need you to take like
10.
100. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, we'll talk about that. I want to talk about who's my financial experts out there. Help me put the game plan together to I was just thinking like we could buy, because I would love to buy and then actually like we could actually have an AM and FM station. Which I don't want to do nothing. Anyway, all right, let's go to the social media question of the day. Sonia, hit me up.
It's time for the social media question of the day.
Look at you. Sonia. I got the phone lines open, so give us a call, 872-259-7474. The social media question of the day. Who deserves the Chicago Medal of Honor? Who deserves the Chicago Medal of Honor? Now, you may ask yourself, the question, what is the Chicago Medal of Honor?
Right.
Well, apparently Mayor Lori Lightfoot, our illustrious mayor, has decided that she has announced the creation of the Chicago Medal of Honor for people who made an impact during the pandemic. Now, I gotta say,
well, we were supposed to be inside.
Well, but you could make an impact.
Staying inside, I can get it if I stayed inside.
Yeah, you could. You could donate. You could. There's a lot of people, but I was just thinking, like, so.
Oh,
Willie Wilson. Man. Well, see, so you're getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me. Slow down. Because that's a good one. That's a really good one. So the Chicago Medal of Honor is an award that is created by the mayor of the city of Chicago for the Chicagoans who made a difference or an impact during the pandemic. Now, let me read to y'all who's on the list.
Oh, there's a list. All right.
It's already a list.
All right.
Now, you know why I looked at this list.
All of them.
You know why I looked at this list, right? Because I thought I should have been on this list. We should have been on this list. I feel like What's in it for the Black People media made an impact during the pandemic. I mean, we started it. We was in a documentary that was world renowned around Sundance and everything. Right? We got the black people talking, but we wasn't on the list. We didn't make it.
Are you serious?
So let me read to you who is on the list.
Yeah.
On the list of the people who will win this year's Chicago Medal of Honor include, let me take off my glasses like Todd so I can read. All right. Brad McConnell. Now, do you know Brad McConnell? Okay, let me read the names and y'all tell me how many. Sonia, do you have like a ding button or a buzzer? Like if you know the person, hit the button. Okay? Brad McConnell, CEO of Allies for Community Business. Daniel Anello, CEO, Kids First Chicago. Natasha Smith Walker, CEO, Project Exploration. Dr. Allison Arwady, Commissioner, Chicago Department of Public Health. We know her, right? But you're not going to give her no done. Okay, all right.
She's on TV every day. Everybody knows her.
Okay. Dr. Helene Gale, President of the Chicago Community Trust. I know her. You can hit that one. You took it away? You just going to undo my love. I don't got no pull.
I was thinking maybe like a buzzer.
Yeah, okay,
but
take
that's
that
like
one.
Wrong, no.
No, we can take that.
Okay, you like it? All right, let's run with it.
All right, so Chef Eric Williams, I know him. He's the chef and founder of Virtue. You can give him he gets an award. Oh, yeah, it does kind of seem like. Rosa Escarino, Commissioner of the Department of Business and Public Affairs. Got her, I know her. How about Zaire Menjivar, Belmont Cragen Youth Leadership Council? Okay. How about this one? The Greater Chicago Food Depository. Definitely know them. Federally qualified health centers. The 22 federally qualified health centers in Chicago. I do know them. Rush Hospital. I know them.
Okay.
Gads Hill Early Childhood Centers. The City of Chicago's Racial Equity Rapid Response Team. Yeah, I don't know nobody on that. CORE. Pui Talk Center. Back of the Yards Neighborhood Council. Ballet Folkloric Co. And Koval Distillery. Those are the Chicago Medal of Honor winners. Now, on that list, I gotta guess that that Natasha Smith Walker, because I don't know too many white Natashas, except for Boris and Natasha. Right? Besides Boris and Natasha, I don't know. Oh, that I done went from Russian to Boris. Natasha. I gotta guess Natasha's black. And I gotta say Dr. Helene Gale is black and Chef Eric Williams is black. So we got the woman, the leader of the Chicago Community Trust. Remember when you had those round table forums? Remember when they was having everybody around the community have the talks? Like when we first started, we did one at DuSable Museum, or not at DuSable, and remember everybody would go do. She's the lady who did all the talks, and she's been encouraging corporate America to get involved. Like everybody donates there. If you're rich, you donate your money to Chicago Community Trust, and then Chicago Community Trust spreads your money around. Okay. And a black woman is in charge of that. Chef Eric Williams at Virtue, man, that catfish is good. Award winning, clearly, Chicago medal. So I want to open up the phone lines because I guess black folks, maybe I didn't get the nomination for. Because I got to guess that there's got to be some other black people that have made an impact. And I think Sonia nailed it, which is Dr. Willie Wilson.
That's automatic.
Honestly, I don't know if there is anybody that did more during the pandemic.
I'm talking about when it was like happening.
Right. I mean,
Everybody
think about
nervous.
Masks. He gave masks. Right. He gave money. He gave food. When elected officials was running up and down the expressway, right? Making shady drug deals, as she described it. That's our comptroller that wants y'all to get elected. Right. Side of the parking lot with multi-million-dollar checks because you could. I got to ask myself, how did Willie Wilson not make the list? 872-259-7474. Who should win the Chicago Medal of Honor? I feel like the black people got kicked off the list. I do. Let's go to the live line. Who we got? Brother Frank? Brother Frank, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. Who should be on the Chicago Medal of Honor list that was not on it?
Hands down. Well, first of all, let me say, Brother Mayor, good morning. Sister Sonia, good morning. And you know, this is exactly what you should do. Unfortunately, Ruthie and Brother Todd can't show up. Let us be your co-host. Man, you are genius, brother. I'm not just trying to blow your bread, but I've been thinking about that for a little bit. I said, why don't you just let us be his co-host and announce that so we can run with him? I ain't got the harder conversation because I don't need to. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. Who should get the Chicago Medal of Honor because of this pandemic? Hands down, the shout it out. Barely edging out Willie Wilson and the Chicago teachers in that union. They stood up the strongest when it comes to equity that protects only us, the black and brown, but also the kids, and they are still fighting the strongest. The Chicago teachers have been the backbone in regard to getting things with a hammer down, you know what I'm saying, using effort. Since I can remember, going all the way back to the last teacher, Curtin Lewis, you know what I'm saying? The Chicago teachers hand down, okay? They are making sure that they use their power to get equity. Now, in this case, when I say equity, I mean access, not making white people more rich, like you said, man. I understand what you're saying on that. But they deserve the Medal of Honor. Now, we talking about non-pandemic. That's what I'm talking about at first. It would be hands down. It would be Tim Fox. Okay, but for the pandemic is concerned, the Chicago teachers, okay, hands down in my book. And yes, Brother Mays, we can very easily raise $2 million, okay, to get you going in regards to this. If we go to the right people, you know what I'm saying? Kanye West, Chance the Rapper, okay, the Obamas.
Oh, Lord. Frank.
You can do a GoFundMe page, and you know I'm going to donate whatever thousand I can to get to that $2 million. Yes, we can. We can do exactly that. Brother, you got the right idea. Let's go to the right people. Willie Wilson is a millionaire, multi-millionaire himself, man. Because he cannot pull the white boss to really get elevated to where he want to go, He can do it from the other side of the street with the money he got. Of course, we can make $2 million easy. Easy.
Man. All right, Frank. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your belief. Hey, man. $2 million. We can have AM and FM. I mean, like, literally our own black-owned. Like, free and clear. Right? Like, not... See, that's a whole nother story. But let me go back to this social media question of the day. Who in Chicago, Black Chicago, should have gotten the Chicago Medal of Honor? Tennille tells me that Chef Eric Williams provided free food for the hospitality workers at a variety of locations. Let me say this. I got much love for Eric Williams. I'm not even front. That food is good, right? And it's a great experience. Carrie and I went there right before the pandemic, and we were a little bit upset that, it went down. I mean, not it went down, but that the pandemic happened and we didn't go out. But I feel like this list really represents the inequity of this administration. Right? Like, how do you put this list out and the people don't, like, who are these people? And I'm not, this list to me represents the fact that they don't know any of the people. I was thinking about, and somebody's probably, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this. But there were a few brothers that were tremendously influential. Working tremendously influential from the grassroots faction of our community that recently returned home, that came home and got on the ground right away, distributing boxes of food, trying to do things to, was it Black Men Working Together? I think I saw Terry Young out there. I saw I saw quite a few, actually, people out there. I saw people like Dirk. I saw, like, old guys people like Rock. People who maybe at a different time may not have always been viewed in the most positive way, but on the ground every day working. Distributing food boxes in every neighborhood, moving around the city of Chicago, going to places. I was thinking about Ready Rock calling up saying, hey, we got food boxes over here, right? And people during this time, Black folks banding together in a way, and I ain't going to front, we still got our issues. But I think of all of those people that were on the ground making things happen that never get the Chicago Medal. Like the Chicago Medal of Honor, the whole city gets it. Like, yo, man, we were in the midst of a pandemic. And I don't know if I feel the whole publicity stuntishness of this, considering the amount of lives that were lost. Right? Like, we lost a lot of people. And I think what these moments like this, in my estimation, are created to create feel-good public sentiment moments, but not really based in, like, yo, our neighborhoods got totally trashed 3 times. Like, who are the champions that helped rebuild the Black community? Like, what? Right? Was this list racially? Like, you put how you gonna put your own team on the list? Really? The racial equity rapid response team that you just told us last week that was no longer just about Black, but we expanded it to include, right? Really? Yo. Who deserves to be on the Chicago Medal of Honor list? Who else you got, Sonia? I think I think the fact that Willie Wilson was left off of this list makes it not credible.
But the city list is the same list of the people that get all the resources. Anyways.
Damn. Damn. And right. We're going to award the people that we gave a leg up. Right. So we're going to have a closed circle, and then we're going to all pat each other. We're going to reach around. We're going to give each other reach arounds. That's what we're going to do. We are going to we're going to use the city brand to award ourselves and our allies for, and let me say this. I do not want to dump on the work of any of the people here.
No, absolutely not.
I don't. But I do think you pointed out probably in this conversation, and I missed it, that whole point of these are the people that get the resources. Mm-hmm. So they can tell their story and sell their story.
So what's the list if they missed it?
Huh?
What's the list if they're just tuning in?
Oh, the list, if you're just tuning in, who deserves a Chicago Medal of Honor? In case you did not hear, Mayor Lori Lightfoot created the Chicago Medal of Honor for those who made an impact during the pandemic. You want me to read the list again? Let me read the list again just so y'all know the names of the people that are on there. Here we go. Brad McConnell, Daniel Anello, Natasha Smith Walker, Dr. Allison Arwady, Dr. Helene Gale, Chef Eric Williams, Dr. Nick Tu, Rosa Escarino, Zaire Minajar. Greater Chicago Food Depository, federally qualified health centers, Rush Hospital, Gads Hill Elementary Childhood Centers, the Chicago's Racial Equity Rapid Response Team, CORE, the Phi Tax Center, Back of the Yards Neighborhood Council, and Koval Distillery. And I bet you what they did was they probably counted it up and said, let's give up this many black, this many white, this many blood, right? I mean, because when you think about this.
One for you.
One for you. Well, here's the thing that I also, with the resources, like every single one of these groups, though, this ain't a stretch. This is what you're supposed to do. Like, I don't think Dr. Arwady gets an award for doing her job. Like, Ma, you are the public health. You don't get an award for doing your job. That's the job you got. We're not supposed to be like, congratulations for telling us we're dying every day. Yo, what happened to the racial equity? You can't put you on the list because Loretto essentially falls at your feet. I mean, I know y'all don't want to talk about that. But I'm going to stop because I got to take a quick break. We're going to take this break, and then we will be back to discuss, you know what we're going to talk about when we come back. I think what we'll talk about will be the release of the Toledo video. There's a lot going on with that, and I just want to talk about it a little bit. And then we're going to talk about what happens if the city's got $1.8 billion. What are they going to spend it on? What do we need? They say they want to pay back their old debt. Some people are saying, man, with the number of people out of jobs and work, we got to do something to save the people that are lost. Let's talk about it all when we come back. It's the Maze Jackson Show.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday. Introducing your trusted source for high-quality black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
Sissy's Taco Bar Pop-Up is back with more hours and more days. Check them out at their new pop-up location at the Woodlawn, located 1200 East 79th Street. Sissy's Taco Bar offers authentic street tacos infused with international soul. Now every Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday at the Woodlawn from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. New vegan tacos have been added to the menu too. Visit sissytacobar.com for more info.
WIIFTBP.
Say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now.
Church Chicago's Power Hour. I'm your host, Angie Mims, and
Terrence Keys, TD, a.k.a. Terrence Daniels.
Do you believe that God's going to turn it around?
I got to.
Why?
Why? Because he's did it before.
Come on.
And he'll do it again.
Yes.
And you can do it again.
Yes. Come on here.
Come on, I better leave that alone.
Somebody calling you right now.
Somebody calling you right now. If it ain't one thing, I better go. God's going to turn it around.
And I feel like we have to encourage the people because so many people are just truly depressed. They're going through the holiday blues, and we want you to know that you don't have to be discouraged. But you can, in fact, be encouraged because God's going to turn it around.
WIIFTBP.
Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. Please. Please don't leave me now. Please don't leave me now. Please. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Come all the way with me. Don't leave me now. Come all the way with me. Oh, please. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. From glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave back to glory. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Glory to Gethsemane, Gethsemane to Golgotha, oh, Golgotha to the grave, from the grave. Dear Lord, it's me again. God's gonna turn it around. I'm calling on you. You did it before. I believe that you can do it again. Somebody calling you right now, Lord. If it ain't one thing we need, somebody else needs you for another. Please, son, look and have mercy. Have mercy over our home, Lord. Have mercy. Have mercy. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around. God's gonna turn it around.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
What's in it for the black people, cause economically we are not equal. Waking up to lies, can't doze no more. I told y'all, yeah, this is a dangerous show. Don't go to church if you ain't trying to help us. Don't even try to be around and can't protect us. We see the lies now of the politicians. We need money and no symbolism. It's Maze, it's Sonia, and Ruthie, and Todd, explaining how we all come from God, giving us tools to beat the odds. If we're united, our movement gon' stop. If they ain't trying to help us, they ain't trying to do nothing. We gotta do something, we gotta stop running. It's time to confront the problem. Really, you expect your oppressed to solve them.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world! This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got no Todd Stroger, got no Ruthie Moore. It's just me and Sonia and Maze and Sonia. No Ruthie, no Todd. I gotta tell y'all, it's interesting being in the studio like this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna tell y'all, keep calling in. The phone number is 872-259-7474. Y'all know this is the big day, right? This is the big day. For the last approximately 2 weeks, we have been hearing that the release of the Adam Toledo video would be occurring. We didn't know when or how, but it is happening apparently today. In case you don't know what I'm talking about, Adam Toledo is the young man who 13-year-old young man who was shot by police 2 weeks ago. 13 years old. He was with a 21-year-old. Apparently there was a shot spotter that heard and then zoomed in on the shots. The police made it to the scene within minutes, where young Adam Toledo and I can't remember the other guy's name. Ruben Raul or Ruben. We'll find it. We'll get it. Somebody's got it. They'll give it to me in the chat. But the shot spotter heard shots. They then saw Ruben get into a shooting. Roman get into a shooting stance. They ran when the police came. This is all descriptions of the tape. Apparently, young Adam Toledo was then handed the gun. And when the police told him to drop it, he turned around and either he dropped the gun or had the gun. According to the people, they said that he had the gun. The police officer fired a single shot, from which, after firing the single shot, the gun fell a few feet away from young Adam Toledo. That is according to the description of the state's attorney as they went to court. And so now the city is on edge. I think what I want to do is I'm going to play a report from of the state's attorney as they went to CBS. Okay. It's so much. All right, turn it up a little bit and see what you got. Do you still hear it? No. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play, because CBS 2 has been really on top of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the CBS 2 report on the release of this tape, and then we'll talk about it in a few seconds. Give me a hot second. Let me get this to the big screen.
For 16 days tonight, no exception.
Hands up, no shoot!
Little Village community leaders have been in the streets calling for the public release of the body camera video showing a CPD officer shooting and killing 13-year-old Adam Toledo in an alley near 24th and Sawyer.
Justice for Adam Toledo, justice for the Toledo family, and justice for Little Village.
Thursday, the Civilian Office of Police Accountability, or COPA, will make that video public along with police reports, shot spotter audio, and video from nearby surveillance cameras. Tuesday, the Toledo family watched and reviewed all of the evidence that will be released. They asked COPA not to distribute the video, but city policy requires it be made public, within 60 days of a police shooting.
It's multiple videos, and I have now, seen, I think, all of them.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot has seen the body camera videos, but wouldn't comment on what they show.
I want to be respectful of the family, but I also do think that something like a police-involved shooting, particularly under these circumstances, it's important for us to be transparent.
Toledo was shot and killed by a CPD officer in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood after a chase through an alley. A 21-year-old who was with Toledo has since been charged. Police responded to a call of shots fired in the area. A gun believed to be in Toledo's possession was found at the scene, according to court documents. Some businesses and the city have prepared in case of civil unrest once the video is released. Firehouses will be secured. Firefighters were instructed to keep protective equipment, including helmets and bunker gear, with them.
We're not looters. We are protesters. We are people that are tired of being oppressed.
Now, COPA has given no indication on the exact time that it will be released tomorrow, just saying that sometime tomorrow all of that evidence will be released. And as you heard, community leaders and Adam Toledo's family saying that if there are protests tomorrow, they are asking that they remain peaceful. We are live from COPA.
So that was CBS 2 yesterday, live from the COPA headquarters, Charlie DeMar. Thank you, CBS 2, for that footage.
I think they won't release it until maybe about 6 o'clock when everybody's home. Maybe 6, 7.
6, 7, and then people. Well, I think that people are going to be out. So let's back up. Let's start here. The family has seen the video. They've asked for peace. We've got a kind of a description of what's going on, right? So let's say that we all are smart enough to recognize that a 21-year-old hanging out with a 13-year-old at 2:30 in the morning is an issue. We can also say that the mother reported the son missing, then withdrew the missing persons report, and it was only 2 days after when the police called back and said, "Are you sure you got your son? Because we got a body down here that looks like what you told us," which makes me say, I got questions. That makes me question, because your son was missing. He never returned, but then you canceled the missing persons report, and then it took the police to come call you and say, "Hey, are you sure? We done went through every list, and the only person we got is you. Oh, by the way, yeah. The boy is 13. He's with a 21-year-old. At 2:30 in the morning. They say on the shot spotter, they show the older gentleman using the gun, and they're able to be identified by their clothing via the cameras. Now, the other part I'm tripping on is this camera. How the camera got this murder on camera, but they ain't got all the rest of them? How do they selectively pick which murders they gonna track? All right, now, we got young Adam out at 2:30 in the morning with a 21-year-old. Why is a 21-year-old hanging with a 13-year-old? I mean, what do they have in common? Besides Shorty trying to come up, hanging with the big boys. We've seen it all before. You know that if a 13-year-old gets caught with a gun compared to a 21-year-old getting caught with a gun, I mean, I'm keeping it real. We know that the 21-year-old got the 13-year-old so you could hold a pistol. So that in the event that something does happen, the police aren't going to shoot a 13-year-old. And if you do get caught, you going to juvie for one night, I'm going for good. Now, what is going to happen? Is there, first of all, the phone lines are open. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Did you notice that in the story, the gentleman from Little Village said, "We are not looters"? we're protesters. They're making a clear distinction because there is probably, the city is preparing, they're walling up, they're boarding up because they may feel as though this Adam Toledo protest is going to be leveraged for some people to loot, right? I'm not going to get into the defense of that, but I think that what you saw with Baltazar was he was making a clear distinction between the actions that the Latinos will take, because the Latinos, at the end of the day, it seems to be even the mother seems to be in collaboration with the city. Did you hear how the mayor referred to her and said, we want to show compassion to the family? Remember, can you do me a favor? Because I think I got to put this in perspective. Can you bring back my Anjanette Young? I know people get tired of hearing it, but you heard the mayor say, and I'm going to go find it. In the meantime, you go ahead, Sonia, and play the Anjanette Young spot. I'm gonna rewind to find the mayor's part of this thing, because I think it's important that we hear how this young man, I'm not going to besmirch him, but Anjanette Young is a black woman in her house, naked, law-abiding citizen, that they told after it happened she gets 0. Play the Anjanette Young, and then I'm going to come back to this.
Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we've already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this roll, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video. Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge, who I know and is very competent, and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
See how quickly they move when they want to?
We will and we must continue to say her name.
Her was not Anjanette Young. Her was Breonna Taylor. That woman was Anjanette Young. That woman, if you pay attention, all of the same things and people are involved. That was COPA, right? They offered Anjanette Young 0. They offered her no compassion. And then I want to remind, again, I'm going to just do it for you because I got to do it. Ready? You got my road up?
also do think that something like a police-involved shooting, particularly under these circumstances, it's important for us to be transparent.
Toledo was shot and killed by a CPD officer in Chicago's Little Village neighborhood after a chase through an alley. A 21-year-old who was with Toledo has since been charged. Police responded to a call of shots fired in the area. A gun believed to be in Toledo's possession was found at the scene, according to court documents. Some businesses and the city have prepared in case of civil unrest once the video is released. Firehouses will be...
I'm sorry.
I have now, yes, seen, I think, all of them.
Mayor Lori Lightfoot has seen the body camera videos but wouldn't comment on what they show.
I want to be respectful of the family, but I also do think that something like a police-involved shooting, particularly under these circumstances, it's important for us to be transparent.
Toledo
of the family, but I also do think that something like a police-involved shooting.
I'm sorry, I need you to hear.
To be respectful of the family. I want to be respectful of the family. I want to be respectful of the family. Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
I guess my question then becomes,
fair.
Why is it so different though? Like there's something about this that's really driving me nuts. It seems like there's a difference in the portrayals. Like I don't want to move this to Anjanette Young, but I do. Like Anjanette Young was not she wasn't even a perceived threat. Like, she wasn't doing nothing wrong. She was in her house, long day from work, came home. My clothes always wind up in the chair. Now, I don't be naked. But I will be down to my drawers in my house.
Show house.
It's hard for me to understand why there is compassion for, and Sonia, bring me back, because I think...
I want to be respectful of the family.
Show.
I want to be respectful of the family. I want to be respectful of the family. I want to be respectful of the family. But I want to be respectful of the family.
Now, I want you to hear how she responded. That's how she responded to Toledo. They were part of... The perception is that it seems like young Adam might have been part of the challenges that are part of the neighborhood. Every child is redeemable. I'm not going to say he hasn't been led astray. But there seems to be a stark difference in how we are treating this community in this situation compared to coming back to how she talked about Anjanette Young in this video, in this audio interview. Play it again.
Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing. But I also do think that something like a police respectful of the family, to be respectful of the family, to be respectful of the family. Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Why is it different? why is it that there is a different level of compassion for...
And I was awaiting her comments.
I've
never heard Lori.
On Anjanette Young?
Oh, on Toledo, yeah.
Oh no, because
no comment. I didn't ever.
I feel like the mayor knows that she has been courting the Latino vote. I think she's coordinating the undocumented vote that does not happen yet. And I think that you get points for a lack of compassion for black people. Adam Toledo is a young victim to the mayor and in the narrative. The young carjackers are expendable. Anjanette Young, a black woman who she identifies with, got 0, was told by her law department, you deserve 0 for this. Did y'all hear her screaming? Did you hear her say, my name is Anjanette Young. This can't be right. This can't be right. Where is the same respect? And I'm going to say that all I want is the same for Anjanette Young. I want the same for Anjanette Young that they had for Adam Toledo. Sonia, bring me back up because I just think it's important that you hear it again. Can you bring the road up? Am I not?
You don't got to tell me. It's ready.
Oh, it ain't going. I can't hear.
Volume up?
Yep, volume's all the way up. They was like, they done probably blocked me now.
Oh, dang. Already?
They done did something.
It's before 8.
To the people.
They're in the office.
They like, oh, stop it. They was like, that was too graphic. You got too much of an example there. Yeah, I can't get it now.
Dang.
All
Got
right.
your IP address.
Huh? Oh, we got calls? Let's go to the phone lines. Give us a call. 872-259-7474. Yeah, well, let me do this. Take a quick break, and then we'll take the phone calls right after that. 872-259-7474. They're going to release the tape today. Like, are we going to be out there fighting and screaming and, like, you know what I'm saying? I heard activists say the Toledo family called, we responded. What do black folks got to do with this? Really? Who's with us? It's the Maze. He made a clear distinction, too. We are not looters. We're protesters. It's the Maze Jackson Show. That's so that when things kick off, they can still get back on the roof and shoot at us while we trying to march. And man, it's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Today we learned that a Kentucky state grand jury found that the officer responsible for killing Breonna Taylor. Rulings like this one set us back and come as yet another challenge to the hard work and progress we have already made. It means we fight even harder against the systems of inequality and injustice designed to keep too many of us down. We will and we must continue to say her name. We will and we must continue to demand justice. And we will and we must do everything in our power to prevent any more names from being added to this roll, like George Floyd, or closer to home, Rekia Boyd, and Laquan McDonald, and too many others. I want you to know that I support you and will do everything in my power to protect you.
Regarding the CBS 2 story last night about the raid on the social worker's home, why did your administration go to court to try and prevent the body camera video from being broadcast? And why is your administration asking a federal judge to punish Miss Young for sharing video of her own home being raided?
And I watched that video. Now, this case was litigated in federal court. The federal judge put in place an order. There's allegations that she has violated that. A federal judge put rules in place. It's for that judge to determine whether or not that was appropriate. I'm not going to sit here and second guess a federal judge or how the information related to that matter was handled. That's for that judge who I know and is very competent and I'm sure will be fair in assessing.
Oh my God, this cannot be right. How is this legal?
Because COPA has not yet made a decision in 22 months on this.
I just, look, we got to fess up and we got to clean it up.
You have the wrong place. You got the wrong house. You got the wrong house.
We will and we must continue to say her name.
WIIFTBP.
I think that the black community is starting to realize the mayor may not necessarily be an ally just because she is black.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio.
Our representatives don't necessarily get a pass just because they're black. We've got a challenge in the black part of Chicago of holding black politicians accountable.
You're listening to The Maze Jackson Show.
This is Chicago, so I understand the Chicago way. I ask every day what's in it for the black people.
With Maze Jackson.
Come on, y'all.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host. I don't got my co-host, Todd Stroger. I don't got my co-host, Ruthie Moore, but I got my girl, Sonia Escobar. That's why we up to 60,000 feet in the air. So let's get the phone lines cracking. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. Why does it seem like it's a difference in Adam Toledo and how he's treated and Anjanette Young and even the compassion for black folks? Let me do this before I take the call because I want you to play this. We had a Latino alderman talking about black people being under full assault. And once again, here's what I want you to just hear the difference in tone. Play that clip, Sonia.
When downtown is in lockdown, our neighborhoods are next. And our failure to fully get ready for what's going on in the neighborhoods, we're seeing this destruction and we're thinking that it's going to somehow end tonight. We have seen where in other cities this has gone on for days. And we need to come up with a better plan for days, at least for the next 5 days, to try and stabilize our communities. Right now, Mayor Back of the Yards has in Brighton Park, from Halstead almost all the way through to Kedzie, along 47th Street, has been a virtual war zone. Ashland Avenue, which borders between me and Alderman Taylor, has had 400
Latino
people
and
in 4 lanes of traffic almost for an hour. We can't expect our police, and I don't fault them at all, to be able to control this. But I know that we asked our faith base yesterday to stand as the front line between police and looters and rioters. Really and I'm simply not comfortable telling my churches, those people, to be the intermediary in the middle of a riot that's citywide. We need something better because right now we only have 370 whatever National Guards on standby. Half our neighborhoods are already obliterated. It's too late. We have to come up with a better plan because my fear is once they're done looting and rioting and whatever's going to happen tonight, what happens when they start going after residents, going into the neighborhoods? You know, we know that people are here to antagonize and incite, and you've got them all pumped today. They're not going to go to bed at 8 o'clock. They're going to turn their focus in the neighborhoods. I've got gangbangers with AK-47s walking around right now, just waiting to settle some scores. What are we going to do, and what do we tell our residents other than good faith people stand up? It's not going to be enough.
Thank you, Alderman. Next question.
No, I want an answer. You commented on everybody. I want an answer. It's not something you ignore. This is a question that I have.
I think you're 100% full of ish, is what I think. If you think
no offense, then who are you to tell me I'm full of ish?
And if you think we were not ready and we stood by and let the neighborhood go up, there's nothing intelligent that I can say to you.
Well, maybe you should come out and see what's going on.
One of the stupidest things I have ever heard. They and you think that
Mayor, you need to check your attitude. That's what you need to do. Because right now, no, you need to check your attitude. Wait a minute. I'm being disrespectful.
I just want to point out that Alderman Lopez, when he was talking about the gangbangers walking up and down the streets, it was later on that week we found out that some of these community faith-based organizations, same organizations that told us that warned the police, that told them that they were letting them know or threatening the police about coming. Remember, they told them last week, y'all can come and we'll talk to y'all about a peace treaty, but that there were threats. Same people were the same people that the mayor engaged to protect the neighborhoods from black folks who were rioting or who were supposed looting, who, again, as we're claiming allyship, your ally is saying, I am not them. We are not looters. We are protesters. Same people, same cliques, same crews. The mayor paid the street organization. Let me not say that. Let me say that those community-based organizations are interwoven with street organizations. Remember when we talked to that, I can't remember what it was, and she was like, yes, we work with the members, but we reform. No, it's all still plugged. And that's the same people that got Adam Toledo out here. The same people you paying money to. Let's go to the phone lines. Let's start with Renee. Renee, you're on the Maze Jackson Show. Talk to me. What am I seeing here? This. Why is the response so different?
Good morning, Maze. Good morning, Sonia. Nice to see you back.
Good morning.
The reason the response is different is because the mayor knows that after Angela Young, she can basically forget about black women. So if the black women are not telling the black men where to go and who to go vote for, I'm not trying to put down men, but women more so motivate their husbands and sons to go vote. Or make sure you remember to go vote. So, real quick, last week I had the honor of hearing from Angela Young directly where the Chicago Reader had a virtual event. Ben Jarofsky and Maya, something with a Russian name, maybe they got a recording, but it was Angela Young and a lady named Chappelle Wells.
I know Chappelle.
Chappelle something. Okay. So they were both on there. Chappelle has a podcast now, so you know her story about what happened to her son.
Yes.
Okay. Angela Young, I asked, well, first, she said she was more upset about how she was treated after they knew they were wrong than the fact that they had the wrong raid, because her position was anybody could make a mistake. But after they knew that they had the wrong house, they still treated her like a criminal. Likewise, how the mayor treated her, and she talked about how she had supported the mayor and all of that. Asked when the question was put, what she wanted people to do, she said, keep talking about her story, share her story everywhere.
I need her to come on the show.
We need, and I wrote this down because I wanted to get it verbatim to the best of my ability. She said, share her story with everyone, everywhere. We need to let the mayor know she will not get another term if Ms. Young can help it, because from Ms. Young's perspective, the mayor doesn't deserve a second term. They both said that they would like people to blow up their social media, the City of Chicago social media, the COPA social media, the CPD social media, regarding her situation so that they don't forget it and it stays in the limelight. Regarding the zero offer, she said that the city did that before the tape came out, and whatever demand letter they had put in, they gave her back a zero offer. So she said now that this tape is out, their demand letter is going to be way different than what it had been beforehand. So she was just letting the city know that whatever they asked for before, they're going to have to come better than. I hope. I just want everybody to think about if it had been a black 13-year-old that was out at 2-something in the morning with a 21-year-old gangbanger, and the mother had did a police, missing person and took it back. In my mind, the mayor would have been talking about why was that child out. The mayor would have been saying we gonna have DCFS investigate how the mother didn't know where the child was for 2 days. Any other kids in that house would have had to been investigated. And what you were saying about voting.
And it ain't happening.
All the mayor has to do is say, going forward, you can vote with your city card, your city key card in the city elections. And then that means that every undocumented immigrant with a city card gets to vote. So everybody needs to think about that between now and whenever. I'm personally, this is just me asking, with them shot spotters, I think we need to start maybe putting in a bunch of FOIA requests to ask where the shot spotter things are in the city, so that we can, when the bullet's going off around our house, we can find out who was doing the shooting.
Oh, Renee.
That's all. Thank you.
Renee, thank you. And Renee be listening to the show. I'm going to tell you. We got any more calls up there? Give us a call, 872-259-7474. If you are watching us on Facebook Live, you are probably, or YouTube, you are probably wondering, or Twitch, or Periscope, you are probably wondering, what is that picture down in the right lower corner? That is the picture of the home of Kim Potter. The charge was second-degree manslaughter. She is also shot young. Good Lord. We done got so many murders. Mr. Wright. She shot Mr. Wright. And in the process, the police have put fencing, barricade. They even brought a porta potty, so they don't have to go inside of her home to disturb her because they went to code. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. And I just think with this Adam Toledo thing, I think what you see is the mayor pandering to a base. I know nobody want to hear it, but there's pandering to a base. I want to point something else out in just a little bit of time that we got left. The city of Chicago also just got a windfall. We'll be getting a windfall of federal money, $1.8 billion. And there's a battle as to what that money should be spent on. The mayor says that the money should be spent to pay down the debt from 2020 and 2021. To get rid of the scoop and toss, to get rid of the city debt that she incurred when she spent the money, when they spent overtime, gave police money, etc. Alderman Jason Irvin and other aldermen are saying, wait a minute, Madam Mayor, with $1.85 billion, can we provide some relief to the taxpayers of Chicago? Can we provide relief to the people that have lost their jobs, who are going to lose their homes? Can we come up with a plan that provides some direct relief to Chicagoans? The mayor says, no, I want to pay down the debt, and aldermen stand down. Now, the interesting thing about this is, for the mayor, it defines her values. Right? When you talk about a mayor who talks about, she just awarded, I think y'all cracked me up. She talked about, because in the comments, everybody, when I was talking about the medal for Chicago medal, they were like, all the people that she named got medals for doing their jobs. Everybody. With the exception of, the black people that we know. But the challenge now for the mayor is, how does she shore up her base? Which we see is clearly the Latinos. Okay. Right? We see clearly that the Latino community is some piece of her base. She's betting heavy there. She gave them an office of immigration or immigration affairs, created a committee. Yeah. Even on our reparations, they got the vice chair is a Latino. She is betting heavy on the Latino population, which at this point, some people are trying to put to us as they try to justify what they're doing as the largest population in Chicago. But I would still say that the largest voter turnout base of people is the black community. Now, a lot of our weight has moved to the Southland. Shout out to the new mayor of Robbins, my cousin, Darren Bryant. But I think what we also see when for a mayor who talks about her commitment to equity, you know what equity means to me, making white folks rich. She has decided that the $1.85 billion is going to go to fiscal responsibility to pay down the debt. Now, ordinarily, that makes sense. But your people are starving out. So at some point, you got to say, how do we use this to alleviate the people in Chicago, the pain and suffering that people of Chicago are feeling, unless you think, I've been watching Extermination of the Beast, unless you're thinking of social Darwinism, right? If the mayor is thinking in a socially Darwinistic manner, you like that, Celine? You see that? Socially Darwinistic manner, she would say that this pandemic will further thin out the black community in Chicago, thus making them less voter potent as they play as the Anjanette Young tape rewinds in their head. So I can pretty much write off the black vote. Like, I could write y'all off. So let me cater to the Latinos. So I'm going to make sure that when we get money, any money that we get, we're going to open it up to all of the undocumented and everybody. And then when I go back to the white folks, I'm going to say, I didn't spend this money on no daggone welfare. We pulled our city up. We paid our bills. We were fiscally responsible to make sure. Now, the South Side be damned. And the West Side be damned. And even as COVID continues to be the highest, they still have the lowest vaccination rate. 25 and 24% of people on the South and West Sides, respectively, are still not getting the vaccine. I'm not trying to push it on anybody. But if I'm a mayor, I'm thinking, man, if I can get people to thinking socially Darwinistic, and I'm taking it all the way to the end, the black population in 2 years can be completely devastated, right? You think about how many people did not pay their rent during this time when black folks, if you ain't got to pay the rent, and it's going to all come due at some point. What better time to clear out the South Side or the West Side is to let all of these people not pay rent and then say, okay, it's due. And now when you have an opportunity to provide rent relief and you want to pass out $10 million when you got $1.85 billion, you can really fix a big chunk of the landlords and the tenants' problems. But you think about it, if you're a landlord now and you're west of, let's say, Kedzie, let's say west of Holman, think about how many people during this pandemic, knowing that they did not have to pay their rent without getting evicted, didn't pay it. Now, and didn't stack it. So now think about this. Think about all the people that when the rent comes due, they're not going to owe 1 month or 2 months. They're going to owe a year's worth of rent up front. How many people are going to have the ability to pay back a year's rent? Nobody. Not nobody. So now you're going to look at a massive population exodus from our neighborhoods, coincidentally coming back at the same time she's running. So now, as you're leaving, she gets to go to the white folks on the north side and say, we didn't waste our money on a population that really didn't deserve to be here. So I'm just saying, if you tell me that your whole administration is bent on equity, right? And then when you get a $1.85 billion,
give it to the population. You
say I'm about to pay the banks first.
Oh.
I'm paying the banks first. Paying the banks first. The people that's already rich, I'm going to pay them first. Now, you done already passed the tax increases. So you've already got a plan. The plan was taking in. So now my question becomes, who are you thinking about? And when Jason Irvin said, I have a problem with that because black aldermen know that our populations were devastated by COVID. Not just the number of deaths. We had the highest death rate, but not only did we, so think about how many people died and are no longer in their space. Think about how many people are going to be evicted. Again, when I found out, that I'm not speaking for nobody but Mays Jackson. Mm-hmm. When I found out that every year at the end of the year, I could move my last car note to the next year, I did it. Really? Now, I had the money, but I was like, shoot, let me free up some of this capital. Right. Now, imagine we know people that have minimal amounts of rent to pay and don't pay it. Now, think about let me tell you how I can put this in perspective. How many people, black, know about the fact that you can't get your power or you can't get your heat or power turned off from December to like April, right? But it's based on a 3-day index. How many times do you not pay all of your utility bill until you know you got to pay it because they can cut it off and you set up a payment plan? Well, what happens when they don't set up the payment plan? You come up with all of it. But a light bill, light bill may be $1,000. Imagine your rent is $800 a month times 12, right? And you got to come with it cash the day that moratorium comes off. Now, imagine you live in somewhere between, let's say, 31st and 47th as they're building the Obama library. As now all of these people that got these buildings need to chip out. Now your property tax becomes due because you got a waiver on that. And you still ain't got your job back. So you don't even have the means of income because you've been living off of unemployment. So to watch $1.85 billion when we know that people are suffering, we know that the unemployed, we know that as soon as they take off all the stilts and take off all of the scaffolding, a lot of black people are going to fall down. Seriously, how many people ain't paid their rent just for 3 months? Not even the whole year. Now that landlord who has been holding that rent and he got an abatement on his mortgage, well, now the developers are saying, shoot, let me buy that from you. Man, I can get up out of this. And the people that were on the property now get out because they can see the greener pastures. Yo, this was you are watching an experiment in social Darwinism that we don't believe is happening even as it plays out in front of your face. She wanted to show compassion to one family in the midst of this, and Anjanette Young was that woman. Sometimes I feel like maybe y'all think I'm crazy. But it's coordinated. Somebody said we're going to do these Chicago medals and award ourselves and give ourselves a pat on the back for literally running you up out this city. This is the Mays Jackson Show. Now, I don't have Ruthie. I don't have Todd. But me and Sonia, I got my amen corner. I got the WIIFTBP family. I got the Maze Jackson family. We got everybody tuned in. Look, we're going to take a quick break. Shout out to everybody on YouTube. Shout out to everybody on Facebook. Whether you're on Twitch, whether you're on Periscope, hey, y'all, did y'all know we have a WIIFTBP YouTube channel too? And it's live. Now, I don't know how to tell you how to find it, but you got to go on YouTube. There's a What's in It for the Black People, but you can catch that at 9 o'clock. It's the Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back.
The Maze Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
The Chicago Legal Network is the collaboration of attorneys that concentrate in many areas of the law most needed in Chicago neighborhoods. The CLN lawyers focus on personal injury, criminal defense, and other issues. The CLN lawyers all average over 20 years of legal experience and are dedicated to helping the Chicago community. The Chicago Legal Network is committed to developing black lawyers through mentorship and co-representation. So if you were injured in a car accident, slip and fall, or injured on the job, or you need assistance with criminal defense, including driving violations and DUI, check out ChicagoLegalNetwork.com for more information or call 773-912-3545. 773-912-3545.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
You got to Kennedy King, so you remember Corey Brown?
I definitely remember Corey Brown from Morgan Park.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Murder, man. So I got it in with y'all one day before a game, and then y'all literally went out and destroyed some people by about 50 at Kennedy King, and I'll never forget, somebody shot a jumper. It came off long, and Corey will tell this story to this day. He says he went up, and I was in the stands. He went up for the rebound, and before he could jump, he said he felt a foot on his head. And it was you, and you caught it. Classic P-Mac catching it over everybody, putting it back in. He says before he jumped, he felt a foot on his head. And Corey was 6'4", easy.
On his head.
On his head.
Yeah, Corey was 6'4", man. I used to I don't know, I had a knack, man. I was always uber athletic. Like I was taught earlier, if somebody shoot, you got to come from the opposite side. I had a guy in my neighborhood named Wayne Irvin, legendary dude to us in our neighborhood. Played at Chicago State, played at Wyoming.
Okay.
Played against Patrick Ewing. He passed away a couple years ago, but went to CVS. He was a decorated player. A lot of people knew him. And he taught me early, like, you attack offensive rebounds from the opposite side. So if somebody shoot from the left wing, you crash from the right. If somebody shoot from the top of the key, you can crash because it can go either way and you can get it. I was so big and athletic. I used to get a lot of tip dunks. Like, for some reason, people never boxed me out. And once I got a running start, if it came off anywhere over the rim and bounced up, you was dead.
This is Eugene McIntosh, one half of the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole entire land, the Bigs. Check me and my player partner Terrence Tomlin, a.k.a. T-Tom the Great, on What's in It for the Black People Media Network.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning.
Our Attorney General Kwame Raoul.
I have reached out to the Hospital Association and the Med Society to talk about how proactively we can talk about implicit bias in healthcare and begin to address the situation system-wide, because I've also simultaneously directed my civil rights team to begin to look at that and look at ways that it may have manifested itself. We've done so historically with regards to the nursing home industry, where you've had some nursing home owners that staff disparately. So if they're in the black community, they won't have much staff as they will in a white community. We've taken that on from a civil rights standpoint, and we're prepared to take on other instances of implicit bias in healthcare.
Utilizing your office to investigate civil rights and healthcare as a civil rights issue. That's actually pretty powerful, and it demonstrates how we have to be working in coordinated efforts with our elected officials in places and positions of power.
WIIFTBP.
Yeah. As we take this journey through life, we face trials and tribulations. But just know, the enemy is not gonna win. Cause the storm is almost over. That's right. The storm is almost over.
You give up. You come too far to turn back now. Hold your head up. It's almost over. So set up to take you to your destiny. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Storm is almost keep on moving. Don't let nobody stop you, no. You're getting closer. Almost over. You're a soldier. Now fight your way to victory. It's gonna be alright. Everything happens for a reason. Yes, this is your season. Just keep on believing. Blessings you'll be receiving. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It will be alright. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Clouds may rise, strong winds may blow. It's hard to see through the rain. You gotta hold on. Be strong. Almost over. Throw your hands to the sky, lift your head up high. The storm is almost over. Everything's gonna work in your favor. You don't have to worry no more. What you're going through won't last. It's a test to take you higher. Just keep the faith, hold on, believe. Storm is almost over. Just hold on. Be strong. Don't give up. Just hold on.
You are listening to the most dangerous show in the morning. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio. Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
For Ruthie Moore, for Todd Stroger, I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them Maze said, Mayor Lightfoot, man, we ain't accepting that. We ain't accepting that. Let's go. Yeah.
Let's get down to business and go ahead and address the facts. Man, Lightfoot seems more lesbian than black. Rahm Emanuel's another case, he was just as tired. 50 closed schools left much to be desired. Police had Anjanette naked on that body cam. They suppressed the footage so it couldn't touch a lot of hands. Reminds me of that 16 shots in that cover-up. Both of them similar, so I went and dug it up. George Floyd killed, a lot of riots happened in the town. Southside burned and they wouldn't let them bridges down. Grandmother sick, need a prescription and plus a couple groceries. You gon' have to travel just to get it now. COVID-19 out here shutting all the business down. Not enough SBA loans to even give around. So many failed businesses that you could put them in the pile. If you don't survive the pandemic, it's gon' sit you down. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System to milk is so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. Shout out to Willie Wilson, hope one day you get to send it. We need some different players in the game to handle business. Too many shady characters like Madigan and Blago. But when you really break it down, it's typical Chicago. City full of gangsters, it's what the land was built on. Same streets with hood legends, DNA get spilled on. Carjackers out here lurking, trying to get they steal on. Looking for a block to put them Hellcat wheels on. Let this give bogus appraisals a red line. Car crackers out here getting minimal fair time. And up the seal carry, I stay with the pipe. But Illinois gun laws giving minimal rights. Stay up on the swivel, make sure I'm moving tight. Check all of my mirrors when I pull up to the light. Pick my homie up from out of town, man, he caught a flight. He was hella nervous, told him, shorty, this is a way of life. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks. We sing, dance, play ball, entertain, and crack jokes. Government infested black neighborhoods with crack smoke. System that milked us so bad, we got lactose. Still trying to find out what's in it for us black folks.
Wake up, Chicago! Wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. I don't got Todd. I don't got Ruthie. I got my girl, Sonia Escobar. And I'm going to tell y'all, I apologize. I'm going to apologize up front. I know. Y'all be like, you be preaching too much. You be saying, you be talking too much. So I'm going to be quiet. Because when I be talking, man, sometimes you see I had to go take off my sweatshirt. Because I be getting hot under the collar. Really because the challenge for me is that, y'all, sometimes I see things. And it's kind of scary. And it's also scary to talk about out loud. And I say that only because, and I gotta tell you, I know y'all gonna be like, he be watching too many movies. But that Extermination of the Brutes put into perspective just how it happens gradually and you don't necessarily recognize it happening, but it's happening. And so I apologize. Sometimes I get a little too emotional. I get a little too deep. I go way a little too far. No, it's not the world. They not trying to systemically move us out. It's not social Darwinism. It's just, we just less than. They when they said in that thing that we don't, in that documentary, when they were like, if they don't feel like you have a right, if you're not productive, they don't feel like you have a right to exist, to make you extinct, they were talking about genocide, and they were talking about displacement, and they were talking about starvation, and they were talking about all of these different components of what happens when they are working to eliminate a race. And I literally could see every single thing that they talked about in it. But I gotta stop because I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist. But I just don't feel like people love black folks. And until we start loving each other, we're going to have challenges. Now, Sonia, I want you to cue this up because in the grain of loving each other, I saw a video yesterday and it made me decide I wanted to title this session, "That Time White People Made You Mad as Hell." I know there's plenty of these times, but I don't know if you all saw this video of who I am going to call my nephew. And I'm going to call him my nephew because I'm going to see him as family. I'm going to see him as one of our children in South Carolina. Now, I'm going to tell you, I feel a particular way about this video because of the fact that it happened in Charleston, South Carolina. Charleston, South Carolina, where President Obama notoriously, famously got up and sang Amazing Grace to the murder of 9 people at Emmanuel Baptist Church. So I feel some kind of way about this video. I feel some kind of way. I remember watching Emmanuel 9, the movie, and I remember talking to the lady, and we forgave before they even apologized. So I'm going to play this video because 2 things. I'm going to play this video because I see him as my nephew, but I'm going to also tell you that I'm going to play this video because I lived through an experience like this. Growing up in Bolingbrook, and I want to talk about it in a second. So, Sonia, I'm going to bring up the volume. Bring me up on the road, and we will play the video.
Right now. Call the police.
Hey, they've already been called. They're just waiting. You know what? Maybe you should hang on a little longer. We'll see how it goes. Then we won't have to get the report by ourselves.
What is it you're doing here? Walking.
Then
walk.
out.
Okay, that's what I was doing. Came out of house.
Well, you've been here like 15 minutes now.
Let's go. Walk away.
Keep walking.
Walk away. I already walked away. Walk away right now. You need help? You got this in front of you. I'm happy to help you. I didn't hit you. There's a difference between pushing
you were the aggressor, buddy.
You're aggressing on the neighborhood.
Someone came running at the
house. You better walk away. You walk away. You talking to my wife right now.
That's your wife?
Walk away.
I didn't do
Walk
anything.
away.
Your wife was speaking.
Check it out. You either walk away or I'm going to carry your ass out of here.
Dude,
What do you want to do?
You better not touch me.
Or what? What are you going to do?
You up on me.
Let's go. Walk away.
I didn't do anything to you.
I'm about to do something to you. You better start walking.
I didn't do anything to her.
You better start walking right now.
You come after me like that?
I ain't coming after you. You're in the wrong neighborhood, motherfucker. Get out.
Sorry.
Get out. Where? Where's your house? What's your address?
Maybe we should walk you home.
Walk me home. Well, you bet. You want to bet what I can do?
I live here, sir. Okay,
right now, you're harassing the neighborhood.
I'm not harassing anyone walking through the neighborhood. I live here, sir.
Where? But check it out. We are a tight-knit community. Okay. We take care of each other. A hell of a lot longer than your ass, because I have never seen you before in my life.
How long have you been living here? That's
Why does that even matter to you?
How long have you been living
It doesn't matter. You know what? Get the hell out of my face. Get out of my face.
You walked up to me.
Check it out, motherfucker. I'm playing with you. You either get your ass moving or I'm going to move you.
You smell drunk.
You want to bet?
You are drunk.
I'm about to show you what I can do.
I would suggest
you better walk away. Walk away. Walk away.
I'm walking. You keep following me, sir.
There's only one way out of here. It's right over there.
There's multiple ways out of here, sir.
You want to bet? Walk away.
In case you're listening and you don't know what that video is, that is the video of a U.S. Army sergeant in his neighborhood harassing a young black man, young teenager who is walking through his own apparently walking through his own neighborhood in Charleston, South Carolina. I got to tell you, first, I got to tell you how much I admire the young man for one attempting to stand his ground, and not even attempting to stand his ground, but not white people standing his ground, but standing his ground from the standpoint of he tried to be respectful. He called him sir. He really tried to avoid the confrontation as this guy came out in his front yard and you heard the wife in the background. Maybe we should walk you home. We've already called the police.
Assaulting the neighborhood.
Right. As he lives in the neighborhood. I'm going to tell you, can I tell you something? That happened to me. That happened to me. I remember when we first moved to Bolingbrook, and I had friends. We lived on Rockland, and my friend Mike Lyden lived on Cypress. And it was 3 blocks from my house, but then like it was 3 blocks length, but then you could go into the block, and it was like, you know, like long down the block. And I remember playing, and Dale Shemansky and his gang of guys, because I was new to the neighborhood, was like, we don't allow niggas in our neighborhood. And it was distinctly different because growing up in Chicago, I heard the word nigga a lot. Before the whole ER and A and all of that stuff, we used to be like, we used it all the time. But it was something distinctly different. And by the time we were playing something like hide and go seek or something, by the time I got from, like, I heard them saying it down the block, but by the time I had gotten out to play the game, there was a whole mob of them who was like, you can't be over here. And I'm trying to stand my ground, and you know how somebody push you and you trying to push back, but you really, and it's like, then it's like 10 people pushing you. So I ain't gonna lie, I bounced to the crib. I ran to the crib, but I ran to the crib and got my daddy. And me and my daddy went back over there, right? And we went back over there, and he got an understanding with them as to where we was going to be able to go. Now, I don't have the biggest, you know, I will tell you that there was something to feel as a black boy fear, and to know to be able to run home and grab your daddy, though, and both of y'all ride back out and be like, oh, no, we ain't roll. And knowing that you got somebody that's going to get your back. Because how many times does that happen and nobody gets your back? That's Trayvon Martin. That was Trayvon Martin. What's old boy's name? And George, what's his name? And George Zimmerman. There is no difference between that and Trayvon Martin and George Zimmerman. We marched, we bought hoodies, we had Skittles, we did all this stuff, and then for this to happen in Charleston, South Carolina. Can I feel like I want to run it back, but I'm not. I'm not going to tell you, when I saw that video, I shuddered. Because I was like, that, I know what the feeling to be feeling powerless in a situation like that. And everybody talk about what they going to do. But when it's 20 people and they like, yo, or when you are a 16-year-old boy, that dude is an Army sergeant, military, trained to kill. He got him dwarfed, and and Shorty standing is doing as best he can. But at that moment, I swear to God, if I could have gotten a car and called up some brothers, and I was like, that house, I'm not calling for arson, but man, I was like, dude shouldn't be able to walk around. He should have a problem. So I titled this part of the thing, That Day White People Made You Mad as Hell. But then, Sonia, no sooner did I get upset and was I talking about what needed to happen. Shout out to Ricky Smiley. Shout out to Black media. Shout out to everybody that raised the awareness of this situation, because no sooner did I get through with being angry, and bring the road back, did I see this video that I was tagged in.
No peace.
Where the black community
No peace.
descended on dude's house. They went to his house. Black people, and told him, come outside.
No peace. No peace.
Now, I'm going to tell y'all. Something about that video warmed the cockles of my heart. And I didn't get you the whole video, but there was a whole group of people that What you say, Sonia? What do the young people call it? They pulled up. They pulled up on him because he feels like he could do that. And what was beautiful was to see the black folks dealing with him. Now, he also got arrested. Now, this is where black folks got to get on code. So he got arrested. In my estimation,
I need a charge.
This is what I need.
A lot of them get arrested.
But what I need is for us to exert the power where we have it. Okay? Now, there are very few locations in this country that we dominate. Prison and jails tend to be one of those places. See, Shorty needs to be all of our nephew. Right? And we got nephews. You got uncles. In my family, we got uncles on the spectrum. Right? We got uncles that will pray for you, and we got uncles that will pray for you after you got your butt kicked. But I feel as though even just being arrested, he doesn't get the full understanding of what he needs to get. Does that make sense? See, and I'm gonna go back to another image because I'm gonna blend these stories together because I think you need to understand what happened. I've been showing you all a picture of Officer Kim Potter's house. Officer Kim Potter, in case you don't know, is the officer who killed young Mr. Wright in Minnesota. She said it was her taser, right? She immediately quit the police department, was summarily arrested and charged with second-degree manslaughter. Now, if you look at the bottom lower right corner of my face of the live broadcast, YouTube or Facebook, you will see a picture of a former officer, Kim Porter's house, with not one but two police squad cars behind a emergency fence that was erected and concrete barriers. Hear me out. The shooting happened 2 days ago. In that time, she resigned from the police department, was arrested, charged with second-degree manslaughter, and by the time she got out on bond, the police officers were at her house with fences and concrete barriers erected and armed officers protecting her home. Why did they do that? Because they know what they would have did if that would have happened to one of their people. You see, they went into mode. Y'all know how we talk about there's modes. They went into mode. They went into protect mode. The police went to protect one of their own. And based on the level of protection that they have, they know what she deserves. Or what the justice they would mete out if the shoe was on the other foot. Now let me ask you a question. If that was a black officer that did that, do you think there'd be a fence around his house? Do you think that there would be patrol cars sitting in his driveway? Understand, they are right now defending a suspect in a, and no, what is it? Not, you're not even a suspect at this point. You've been charged with manslaughter and she's being protected by the police. So my point here is, when we saw what happened with the young brother in South Carolina, we still ain't there yet. But I do believe that we gotta start getting protocols in order. We gotta start connecting on all the levels. See, to me, there's a number of points in which that police sergeant. So he got the Army sergeant from the first video. He got the Army reprimanded him. I think they said he's getting a demotion, but Army veterans are saying he needs to get a dishonorable discharge, right? So that he can't enjoy the benefits of being a soldier and being a veteran. Although we know what veterans get, black veterans get, because we saw a black veteran get sprayed in the face on active duty with mace, and the cop didn't care. So now my thing is, y'all, what is the consequence? Literally, thank you, Ricky Smiley. Like, thank you. Like, there's too many amazing graces. There's too many kumbayas. There's too many we shall overcomes. And I'm going to tell you, for even the fact that those people went to that man's house, right? I think our instinct remains to be peaceful. No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace. No justice. Can I tell you though, like, I feel like his mugshot should tell a story. When he shows up at court, there should be a story that's told. Right? And I to me, in the black community, justice could be served in this situation. Black justice could be served without court. Like, I mean, like, seriously, where that dude, like, he should be concerned about going places where there are black people. Like, the challenge is we are waiting for the system that we lit. Like, what is justice? What is justice for that young black boy? Like, what does justice look like for him? Just realize that could have ended with him dead. For Trayvon Martin, it did. And my question is, so we saw the people ride down. But if we know that they are hell-bent on, they see us as brutes. They see us as beasts. How a grown man could do that to a kid? Now, somebody, and the challenge for me is yesterday when I showed that video, there was a black dude that was like, man, I got to check that video. There's something fishy because there was 2 other black women. And I'm not going to say that in our neighborhoods there aren't people that come and invade the neighborhood. That young man clearly was walking. Who are you? Who are you? Where do you live? Maybe we should drive you to your... Like, I would even get in your car. But, like, who are you that I got to answer to? As I walk down the... Like, it's one thing for the police to do it. It's a whole nother thing for somebody, some drunk white dude who feels like he can walk out of his house and say and do anything. And I'm just saying that's happened to a lot of people. And they've had to walk away because they've had power. They were a bit powerless. Probably one of the most empowering moments in my life was when I got ran off that block and I ran home and my dad was like, we going back. Like, we did not bow down. We did not say, we went back. And the whole family came out and Reverend Jackson was like, let me tell you what's not going to happen. I want to assimilate to the mug, but I'm not going to bring my son out here and you finna. No, that's not going to happen. And So many times when we are assaulted, there is no retribution. There is no, and so it forces you to accept the humiliation. That was a humiliating moment for that young man. And what you saw him trying to do was maintain his level of manhood, recognizing that the odds were not equivalent. And he was going to lose in that scenario. And in that, he tried to still be a man. Best he could. He tried to escape he tried to de-escalate. The man followed him, walked all up on him, etc. Can I tell you what? I know that y'all talk all that peaceful stuff, but for a young boy, for a young man, for you to feel protected, that white boy need to be knocked cold out. And that black boy needs to see a black man beat the brakes off a dude. Because, again, that's a manhood moment. That was a manhood moment that you fight or flight. Now, I'm not telling you not to be strategic, because I'm going to tell you, when I bounced off the block, I just could count. I was like, this ain't going to end well. But I knew I could go get my daddy. And I knew my daddy wasn't finna let know that wasn't happening. And I could be in trouble for whatever was going to happen, but wasn't no white boys finna never be able to assault me unpunished. And so now I'm saying, y'all, I just want to talk to y'all about being strategic. When we come back, I'm going to take a quick break, and then we're going to talk about strategy. I know people don't like strategy, but I think we should just talk about, there's a lot of intersection for this police, for this sergeant, just like there's a lot of intersection for this Kim Potter, where they need to come face to face with the reality of the people that they have hurt, harmed, or killed at every level. What did Two's Uncle Walter say? No quarter? Give them no quarter? I'm going to talk to you about what I mean when I say that. We'll be back after these messages.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Everybody's talking about the all-new Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish. Place your order today for a delicious meal. The chicken and fish are fried to perfection, featuring a wide variety of catfish, perch, tilapia, whiting, and shrimp. Now it's your turn to see what everybody's talking about. It's the all-new Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish, Chicago's newest spot for delicious meals. Stop by at 2537 South Wabash in the South Loop, or get contactless delivery from DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub, and Postmates. For more info, call 773-807-9010. 773-807-9010. Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish is open just in time for lunch, or take it to the house for a delicious dinner. It's Chicago's new spot for perfectly fried chicken and fish. Don't wait any longer. Try it today. Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish, 2537 South Wabash in the South Loop. Sam Silk's Chicken and Fish.
Call in and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. Give us a call and say it with your chest. 872-259-7474.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the green side of things. It's your man, Sadiq.
And Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share
that thing
every Tuesday and Thursday from 1
to 3 p.m. on
What's in It for the Black People Media.
Back to the Maze Jackson Show.
You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Sonia Escobar. Nah. Haha. You thought they got me. They didn't. Sonia Escobar is holding it down, keeping us flying straight and narrow. We only got a few more minutes, so I'm gonna talk calmly. This is my smooth jazz, chill voice. But I want to talk calmly and rationally, and I want to make sure that everything I'm talking about is now hypothetical, right? This is all like if I was writing a short story. If I was writing a short story and I had the characters of either Kim Potter, for those of you who don't know, Kim Potter, even Derek Chauvin. Kim Potter, Derek Chauvin, both police officers, former police officers who murdered black people. Or if I was the black sergeant, the white sergeant who intimidated the young boy in South Carolina. If I was writing them as main characters in the story I think of that I feel like they would be in Shawshank Redemption. If I wrote them as the characters in Shawshank Redemption, each of them would be a version of Andy before he got it figured out. I know that's probably kind of harsh, but here's my thought. The death, we saw both of those police officers devalue the life of black people. And my thought is that they are going to come into cross sections, intersections with black people at a variety of intersections. At which, without a word being spoken amongst us, an understanding, in my estimation, should occur. What do I mean by that? I mean that when the police sergeant or when the army sergeant or Kim Potter is picked up, black police officers should volunteer to pick her up. Very similar to if a white officer was killed, white officers would probably volunteer to pick the black person up. I would say that's the first intersection. That is the first time that they should run into the wrath of black people. Like, now, I'm sure that we saw the police chief, so he wasn't sending no black people over to pick her up. So, whether it's the sergeant, like if they send the black officers over to pick up the sergeant, the black officers should think of the young black man as their nephew. And if he assaulted their nephew in such manner. See, if we saw each other as our family, if we saw that young man as our family, each and every one of us, then we probably would be thinking differently about how we deal with this. I would also say that nobody should call for the forgiveness of either of them. Nobody black. So now after they've been picked up in a police squad car, if we can't talk to them and if we can't have an intersection with them at the squad car, and I think at every level, everybody has their ability to make your life easy or hard. The hard path should always be chosen for them. So if it's a rocky road and you're the police officer that has to bring them, or you have to put them in a van and you need to, what do they call it when they take you on the ride to the jail? Right? Instead of going to Burger King, if on the way, I'm suggesting in the places that we have control, we should control those scenarios. Let me also say that then there's probably a point that if you've been in the process where you go from transferring from the car to the holding facility. Having been in that transfer process, it can be very unpleasant. It can include being maced. It could include tight handcuffs. It could include a variety of things that police have mastered. I'm sure that they would resist, but they should live to make it to the next stage, right? So after they get that stage and they transfer in, then perhaps they have to go to a holding cell, where at the holding cell, just like we would use fear and intimidation on smaller of our own, at that point, he should interact with someone who probably isn't our nephew, who probably has questions about the toughness. And maybe even multiple people. Right? There's another intersection. So now my thing is, so what happens in the court? Now, God help them if they got a black judge. Because at the point in which they got a black judge, then the bond should be obscene. Obscene. Egregious even. Now, as they're waiting to get that bond, seems to me that they might have to go back to the whole, no friends and family. Ain't no segregation. No, you don't get to go with the Aryan Nation, my brother. You going to the jungle. At which point, when you show up to court in a wig and tube socks, there should be an understanding that there is a consequence to this. At every level, wherever we can reach you, we're going to reach you. See, the problem is that sergeant is going to go home and be protected. That's not where we have the control. And so at all of the places in which we have control, we need to control those environments and control their experience in those environments. He should leave with a testimony. See, when them black folks, when Ricky Smiley hit that and them black folks rolled up on the house, that was something white folks ain't never been prepared for. Now, can you imagine, though, if they wasn't saying no justice, no peace, if they was saying, bring your white ass outside? And I'm saying that, let me tell you, he felt a certain way until he was confronted with real black masculinity. Yeah, you supposed to, you can pull it with the shorty, but shorty got an uncle, and he got 20 uncles, and he got 2 million uncles. See, but I'm going to tell you, I was so happy to see all them people outside. I was mad they had signs. And I was mad they were saying no justice. I ain't gonna say I was mad. Like, I feel like everybody just go out, stand outside. Just stand out, don't bust a sign. Skip a sign. Just all the black people be like, come outside. Oh, we walking through the neighborhood. You come outside. Show us your address. Explain it. See, I think, you know how we talk about people who are willing to risk it all? We'll risk it all for some garbage. But in my mind, somewhere in this space, there are things among black people that need not be said. What is understood need not be said. If you murdered Emmanuel Church, I don't care how many people at the church forgave you. God forgives, we don't. See, the outside world needs to see the consequence of what's happening. You know, when they were talking about the exterminate all the beasts, they were so brutal to their victims that people was like, I can't believe that just because they would do that. Now, I'm saying that we will do anything to each other. Somebody don't care about something. That white boy he should have showed up lumped up. When they did the court, like when the court guy is drawing, And he should be saying in his trial, Your Honor, I don't want to go back into the jungle. Because he felt empowered. He felt he could just pull it because he knew that within the system, he was protected as a white man. But homie, the moment they closed that door, you in the jungle. And in our psyche, we tend to be willing to eat our own and risk it all for the least of it, as compared to saying, like, hey, yo, y'all know people be going on missions. Let's be honest. We know that mugs get assignments, and we know mugs be getting missions. Could you imagine if the brothers said, we want to send the world a message? Do y'all remember Martin when he fought Tommy Hearns? I need to find that picture. That was one of the funniest things when he said, Gina, give me a kiss. And she was like, because his hair was swole up. It just seems that whenever we have and I don't know, and maybe I'm just dreaming, but it just seems to me that in all of the places that black people are in control, and there are not a lot of things that we control, we should mete out our own justice. Like, somebody should say, the next time a white guy gets drunk and thinks about coming outside, he should be thinking about, damn, you saw what they did to dude. Right? Like, even if they got 2 hours, if I'm unattended for 2 hours, have you ever seen, like, when somebody in a cage and everybody want to get at you, and the only thing protecting you, let me, what was my man who got beat down, remember Khalif Browder? Did y'all see the Khalif Browder videos? What black people did to Khalif Browder? So we know we have it in us, but do we focus it properly? Now, I'm not calling for violence at all. Let me talk to Troy. Troy, you on the Maze Jackson show. What's up, man? Talk to me.
Brother Maze, good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you. And I feel you when you're expressing yourself. When I was young, when they integrated the school in Mississippi, they integrated the grade school first. And the little black children would catch the bus and go to the school. And the high school now, this is a grade school, the high school white boys would beat them up and punch them in their face. And the bus driver, they would tell the bus driver to hit the brakes and knock them to the front, bump their head. And the following year, I couldn't go catch that bus that year because my mother wouldn't let me. But that following year, the first day I got on that bus, my little sister, I said, point out everybody that was the problem. And everybody she point out, we took care of the business. I bust every one of them, nose, teeth, face, everything I could punch. She said, that one right there too. And the white guy jumped up the driving the bus and said, you got to get off my bus. I said, you old molded mildew, you don't get off. Get it back up there in that driver's seat. You're going to get some of this. And see, they know, they feel so much dominant and ain't nothing going to happen to them when they do these kind of action, take this kind of action on people where they got the advantage. But when he was faced with when them high school white boy was faced with a 14-year-old black guy who was a country boy, sprung with a bull and started knocking him out, it was a whole different thing. It was a whole different thing. I just want to share that with you, brother. I feel your pain. I feel it too.
Troy,
I feel it.
Troy,
have a good day.
Thank you for the story. But so can I tell you something, y'all? I believe our boys need to see that. They do. I think our boys need to see black men defend them too. Like, they are victims of, we're all victims, so I don't want to separate it out. But I believe that black boys need to know how to defend themselves from attack and our people from attack. And I am saying that white boy needs to get beat down just so that black folks understand this is how it is. You have an obligation. You don't get to get around us. Like, nah, dog, you not finna be on this bus walking around. Think about this. Troy told you that he was on the bus and they was beating up his sister. All you need to know is that they have no reverence for you. And so, you can't tell me that the jail population in South Carolina ain't black. I don't even think they got the Latinos there yet. So you know and I am suggesting that, again, if I was writing a book, not in real life, this is a fictional book. But in my fictional book, the goons got a job. Now you can do whatever you want to do, but when the real fight is in front of you, when you have the national symbol, right? Like, I'm telling you, Dylan Ruth needs to be seen in a before and after. Like, you don't just I don't care who is, you got to put the pressure on where whoever's got him is like, it's not worth the value of you got to go. And it needs to be a story. And it needs to be like, there needs to not be, he needs to be a hero. Somebody need to be like, yo, in the book, he don't end up no hero for white race soldiers. He ends up like, they be like, man, what they did to him, we never want to have happen. See, the best thing that happened to me with my old man in that moment was that I did know at that moment he was willing to fight or die for me. I knew that there was a man that would protect. Like, I was scared. I ain't gonna lie. 20 people, I was scared. But I felt a different way when I went with my daddy, and it was 20 of us. It was 20 of them still, but it was me and him, and we was like, yo, the world can come against us, but we gonna stand here, and we gonna stand against it. And now that white boy is the sergeant of the police department in Bolingbrook. But can I tell you what? He still remember, we ain't going. We ain't going. And I want to tell, I know like Ricky Smiley, thank you for myself and for all the young black kids who, I told y'all, like, racism in the city is different. You come face to face with racism directly, not in a institutional way, but you come face to face with racism. That has happened to black boys every time they move to the suburbs. Every single time. And how many times has somebody ridden to the Calvary to their expense? I told you, same white boy was a dude when I was at the Cubs game who is calling me at the game and throwing bananas. How you get a banana and to feel unprotected in that moment? I was like, what I'm gonna do? Fight the whole stands? Everybody talk about that, but you really are surrounded, and at 10 or 12 years old, what you supposed to do? Man, I'm so thankful that them people rolled down on them, but I still think there's more work to do. At least in my book, it would be more work to do. In the book. Because we don't write stories of, we want stories of black triumph. And, don't let them tell you, because in Rocky and all the movies, the bad boy got to get his butt kicked. It's only when we got the power of the upper hand that they tell us, oh, no, peace.
Don't act like that.
Peace ain't never been their strategy. Ever. Peace was not the strategy when she shot that man. Talk about some taser. It's the Maze Jackson Show. Look, y'all. Todd is taking care of his wife like he's supposed to. Ruthie is somewhere conquering the jungles, probably freeing them all. Sonia Escobar, you flew the plane like a champ as you always do. I am the host of the Maze Jackson Show, asking every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you can still tell them. Maze said, now I want to encourage you, switch over to the What's in it for the Black People page for the Book of Dawn. We out of here. Peace.